The G-Wade Podcast with Deacon Dirty.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy G-Wade holding it down. G-Wade Podcast, kicking it alongside with my man Deacon. And we got a special guest on the show. I'm honored to be totally honest. I'm honored to have her as a guest on the podcast. DeEtta West, aka, can I say Mama D? Because I heard Mama D.
Please do. Please do.
AKA Mama D. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. And I hope you all are doing great too. And Mama D is fine. I'm the original one. I'm the original Mama D, if you know.
The original Mama D.
Yes.
Well, that's good. Well, like I said, I certainly appreciate you taking the time to sit down and talk with us. When I got word that we could interview you, I was like, please send her the information and let's make it happen. And shout outs to Laura Poindexter who did.
Yeah. Love her.
Yeah. Now you've been in this game for a minute. You worn a lot of hats in this game of entertainment, and I didn't realize how involved and how deep you were involved, or how deep you've been into this game. But let's back up a little bit. You're from the West Coast. You're from Cali, right?
Born in San Diego.
San Diego. So how was life growing up in San Diego? Because San Diego is beautiful. I've been there once.
San Diego, which is about a drive time. Well, the way I drive, about an hour and a half. It's a nice 2.5 hour drive from Los Angeles. But life there was the beginning, of course, for me to kind of discover who I am or who I thought I was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's most of my schooling, happened there. And just being reared by a wonderful mom and a wonderful dad, both of them talented in their own right, but brought up in the church. Daddy was the head deacon and mama was the mother of the church.
Okay.
What roles they both had. And so I love San Diego, but I knew that a lot of what I wanted to do wasn't going to all happen there in San Diego. I had to press forward. As we all know in life, there's some things even as adults where you say, okay, I've been up in this city for too long. There's some other opportunities, and I believe God is opening up doors. He says, my steps have been ordered, and I'm going to just delight myself in those steps and keep it moving,
Yeah. I actually had a similar story with myself because I'm from DC, born and raised, and I always knew, I was like, I don't belong here. I belong here, but I don't belong here. There's something more out there for me, and thank God I was able to find it right here in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. So I fully understand.
Yeah.
And so you moved to LA. What was the call to get into the industry? What was the thing that kicked it off?
Well, I've always been, like my mom would say that I was singing when I came out of her womb. So
okay.
In other words, I was hollering,
right.
When they smack you, when they tap you,
mm-hmm.
they didn't have to do that with me because I came out hollering. So, I had pipes on me then. So I started out basically singing because that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to be, a singer,
Okay.
And I did a lot of that in my school, in elementary school, junior high school, which now they've changed the names. You all too young to know about that, but they're middle school now.
Middle schools now, yeah.
Fancy names on them, but high school and then on to college. My major was music and my minor was drama. And that was I was always on somebody's stage, whether or in church and choirs or doing solos or talent. When I was in elementary school, I always said that they wasn't going to try to make me a background singer because I just kind of thought that God humbled me in my growing up that I don't do background. I'm the lead singer. Y'all know I can sing and I have a good voice. So why are you going to put me in the background? As a
right.
So I did a little more graciously than that, but I was always doing that. And then coming from a background with my brother, who's an actor, and growing up in San Diego and watching his growth, you know, you may have heard about, I don't know if you've read my bio, but may have heard about him. His name is Cleavon Little. He played the sheriff. That was his role.
Oh, very much aware who Cleavon Little is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he was my best friend and my role model. And there were 5 of us in the.
Okay.
He and I were in the entertainment industry, and the other 3 were just doing what they were doing, you know, working for the county, working for the city. But so he went on to New York, and I was still in San Diego. So again, I realized the calling, so to speak, in my life way back when. I would do everything just to get on the stage to sing. So I would be a part of beauty pageants in San Diego, and then something brought me to LA, where I had friends there. And then what took me to LA was that I sang a couple of times in a nightclub. It was called Maverick's Flat in Los Angeles, and was on Crenshaw Boulevard. And it was an after hours club. And I said, I think I'll just go up here and I'm gonna be, you know, how you can get up and grab the mic and do your thing. And the next thing I know, the owner reached back, found out, you know, took my information and reached back and asked me would I come up on weekends or at least twice a month to come. And so I had to get a band. I got a group together there and would go every other weekend to work up there. In the meantime, in LA, I was in San Diego, like I said, I did a lot of singing there. I worked in some nightclubs there, and also, and ain't no shame because nobody can't judge me. I was nightclubbing it and I was singing in the choir on Sunday morning. I made it to church on time. Right. I got myself straight. I drank tomato juice and took an aspirin that morning, so my hangover would be done. Judge me if you want to, but some of y'all still doing it now. I was real saved, and God said.
Well, Saturday night you were just warming up.
Yes.
Warming up for Sunday.
Right. So I was doing it all, and eventually there was more of a demand. This club in LA, and actually I went to college for 2.5 years, and I just decided I'm going to do what I want to do. So I didn't go on to take to 4 years or to get my doctorate and PhD, all of that. I left, and my first real big exposure on stage was in a musical West Side Story. I don't know. That, and oddly enough, my partner, the guy who played my partner, was Carl Weathers, who played Apollo Creed.
Right. You went to school with him, right?
I went to school at San Diego College, and he was one of the pro football. He was the man, you know. And I love the fact that he was my partner because we had to do dancing, and he had to swing and flip me around, and I knew Muscle Man. I mean, Buff Man was going to make sure I wouldn't hit the ground, so I would just melt in the arms of Carl Weathers. And then fast forward, then we connected. How we connected again, which was so strange. It was years later. Was that I sung, and you probably read the soundtrack for the movie Rocky.
Right.
And so in doing that, when they did the premiere, and I went to the premiere, that's when he and I, you know, just kind of reconnected. They moved on to LA, and then the rest was kind of history. And here I am in Atlanta, still blessed to be able to do some wonderful things and keep a 9 to 5, because you know what, you got to have that 9 to 5.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you about, because you also went the corporate route within the industry. So you never got left the industry per se. You just kind of went behind the scenes or went the corporate route with it. What made you decide to do that?
Well, again, because you have to pay the rent and you have to eat. And every audition, you're not going to book every audition. Yeah. You get a series where you're doing a reoccurring role in something. So for me, and I've been very blessed to be able to work at different companies over the decades, the years that I've been in the industry, where they would give me the flexibility. So if I had to go and do an audition, or even if I booked something, you know, take a day, a vacation day or whatever, it wasn't a lot of pressure on me, even to this point, to fast forward here, the job that I'm on right now. I started with the company. I was their first employee, which was called Gospel Music Channel at the time.
GMC, yeah.
Yeah, and then they went to GMC, and then now we're and then we have Aspire TV. Aspire TV, when it came launched, Magic Johnson,
Right.
our ownership. Now we have new ownership, right?
Okay.
And so during that time, God opened the door and brought people into the company that I didn't know were good until after they got there. I didn't know them personally, but when they get introduced to me and starting with the company, I know, somebody told me about you that maybe knew about the gifts, the talents that God gave me. And so as a result of that, one of the persons that came in, her name is Leslie Chesloff. She came in and she said, you're going to be in every movie that Up TV that we do. And I'm in 17 of their movies. So when stuff through, or she'd get a script or something and you'd see something that fit my character, she would say to the producers or whoever brought the project in, I already have somebody for this role. And oh no, we gonna do our own cast. No, you getting the money from us, or we want to put somebody in that role that we know is qualified.
Right.
So I was very fortunate with that and other things that then took place once I got here.
Now, how would you recommend to up and coming aspiring artists, actors that, like you said, keep a 9-to-5, that they should pursue if anything, while pursuing their career, maybe land a job within the field of the career? Because like what you just said, you've been in 17 of their movies, so you were already within the vein. Right.
I would say, I mean, unless you can afford, it's easier when you don't have to work, because you're not always as fortunate to land a job where you're going to have people that are going to work with me. Not only was I blessed to be in this company that would allow me to do what I do. When I say allow, that I was able to do it and I was doing it, and they were profiting from it too, because I was working for them double, you know. And prior to that, working for Turner Broadcasting, because that's what brought me here to Georgia, was the man that I worked for at Warner Brothers.
Okay.
He did the WB television network in LA, in Los Angeles, and they asked him to come and to run Turner Broadcasting. And so he asked my family and I, would we uproot? I had been with him for 10 years. So that's what got us here. So again, I've been in the industry for a while because first of all, I needed a job, but I was always attracted toward the industry. For those who are trying to do what you're doing and you know you're gifted at it, learning your craft, you don't just think because you got a break and you did a little stage play that you are the expert on it. You know, you now are this grand actor and demanding, you have to really know that you know down in your knower, and you will know if you are taking an acting class and you have a bona fide coach who is going to say, keep your day job, because this is not for you, and I don't see things happening for you. And I love that. My coach, my acting coach, is Greg Allen Williams, and he is absolutely amazing. He's a working actor. When I first met him, when I got here to Atlanta, he's working. See, I love when the actor is still working. You just didn't get a couple of roles and now you charging Grand Theft Dough for us to take some lessons from you. And what you doing? Holler at me when you get some jobs, you know. So for that person, you have to understand it's not overnight either. I've been in this industry for 40 something years. And we never arrive. You ask some of the biggest stars in this industry, they'll keep telling you, I'm still working at it. I have arrived, but then you have those who are humbled, who are saying, I'm still learning, I'm still growing, I'm still tapping into who I am. And so you can't just feel that you're going to be an overnight wonder. Become that. You might have hit something real big and you brought that thing. It's the opportunity for you to continue to grow and continue to learn and continue to read and to study great seasoned actors. You know, I sit back and I watch them. I watch all of the young ones and the old ones out there, you know, and I'm never going to stop, you know, because some folks say, okay, they're attracting the young millennial. I said, well, the young millennials got to have a mama or a grandma.
Mama, yeah.
What you gonna do? Age up a 30-year-old woman? You know, no, you have seasoned.
Absolutely.
So you see what I'm, so I don't know. I probably didn't even answer the question, but I'm just saying, for a job, again, even on the job, when I had to be an executive, I'm an executive assistant to, they would know. I didn't take advantage of it, but they knew going in, you know, these are the things that I do. We know what you do. You just let us know if you got to go for an audition. So I love, I'm not saying I love the pandemic, but when it hit us last year, we tape, we self-tape now. So I get my ring light, get my phone, have either my son, my daughter, my husband, whoever's around the house at the time to read with me, and I can do my audition and upload them so you don't have to leave the house. And working at the office, I'm working remotely, the company Up TV and Aspire TV that I've been for 17 years at the company. There would be times even at the office that I'd grab one of my coworkers and we'd go into a little room and make sure the light was right, and she'd get the phone and she'd have the phone in one hand and my sides, my in the next hand, and we are working those auditions. And it's so amazing because you never think, okay, I want to be in front of the casting director. I want them to see me. I want them to see my stuff and see my expressions on my face. But my agent was really just blown away, and she kind of talked about it in a little meet and greet gathering we had a couple of years ago. That she booked off of a self-tape. And I mean, I had a nice scene. It was the Glorias. It's a story of the backstory on Gloria Steinem. Y'all probably too young.
Yeah.
Right. So she that movie came out on Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime right now, and has an all-star cast. My homegirl.
Is that Janelle Monáe? Yeah.
Janelle, yeah, and Bette Midler and Julianne Moore and Timothy Hutton and just a host of them all. And I was just honored to be in that movie. But that was booked off of in a little room at my job. That's on a cell phone, you know, doing it that way. Plus, Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. That wasn't on.
Welcome Home, yeah.
Yeah, so just really blessed to just work in this industry, have the flexibility, and have executives that I work for that's your passion. Long as you get what you need to, you do what you do here. Passion. And the person I work for now, she's all about what your passion. Girl, you better go. What? You turned down an audition because it was in the middle of a meeting or something that girl, don't you ever do that. I'm not going to be responsible for you not getting an Oscar, an Emmy, and even if you sing a little bit, you might get a Grammy.
But they say you're going to EGOT. That's what they call it, the EGOT.
Oh, is that what you call it?
What is it? The Emmy, the Grammy, the Oscar, and the Tony.
Oh, okay. I learned. See, I'm still learning. 70 something years old, 71 years old. Still
looking good.
Praise God. To God be the glory.
You know, you had mentioned Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. I heard you telling a story about I guess it may have been the director that had asked you that when Martin Lawrence's character got knocked out, that you were to stand over him and recite the line basically from the movie Friday.
Where'd you hear that? Where'd you hear me do that?
I do my homework.
Oh, I'm like, wait a minute. I guess you do, but yeah.
Phone calls.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing, and he probably doesn't even remember the story. Malcolm Lee, Spike Lee's cousin, created. He directed, produced. He was all that. Amazing. He's an amazing man. I worked on Welcome. I think I was in Shreveport, Louisiana. That's where we filmed it. I was there for about 4 weeks. Okay. And it wasn't a lead role, but it was the character. You know, there's just a character that has to be in there. And I played one of the family members, and I did have lines, but you all know what happens at the cutting room floor. Stuff started, you got to bring it down. You got to take something out, or you would just see a lot of me. But there was a line, and did you want me to share it, or you just want
absolutely, yes, please.
Okay. There was a lot, since you already know about it. Anyway, there was a line in there. Malcolm, the scene was we were out in the town, and Martin Lawrence was getting smart mouth with Michael Clark Duncan, Lord rest his soul.
R.I.P. Yes.
Malcolm, in this scene, Michael clocks Martin. You remember that? And Martin goes, because he's talking bad about his
kids. Yeah.
So at that point, myself and another lady, senior person like myself, we're in this scene, but we're just on the sideline. And so he said, my name was Miss Addie, my role character name was Miss Addie. So Miss Addie, come here. And I said, okay. He said, I got this line I want you, because you know that'll happen to you. They'll see something in you probably, and they're like, okay, I need you to run this line for me. I said, okay, what is it? He said, okay, now when Michael hits Martin and he knocks and he falls out, Martin, if you remember the movie, is on his face, you know, knocked out. And he said, and then I want the camera's gonna come up. You're gonna look down at him and the camera's gonna come up on you. And I ain't gonna say it, but you know from Friday, you just got knocked the out.
Right.
And that's what he wanted me to say. And I was like, I started patting my heart. I said, oh no. And I know I've done some cussing in my life, but that that's one of them words I don't care how I'd call you and cuss and say every cuss word in the book, but that one wasn't coming out of my mouth. But I was like this, oh God, I can't do it. And Malcolm was like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. And the other lady, who Lord rest her soul, she just passed this year. She was she had kind of a reoccurring role in Queen Sugar, but we had this role. We were together in this particular movie, and I said, I can't. And so she said, I will. From New Orleans, so I will. Well, as it went on, I realized it wasn't for her. It was for me, not in the positive sense as far as it would have worked for me, because along with the many hats that I wear, I'm a licensed ordained minister and preaches all over. And I could just see my face on the big screen, not on Hulu, Yulu, Roku, Boo Boo, not on none of them. On the big screen, all of those major actors, Nicola, Reed, Parker, Monique, Mike Epps, all of them, because you know everybody's gonna be up in that joint. Church folk, everybody was gonna, and to see me, camera on face, because he described it, and me saying, you just got knocked the blankety blank out.
Yeah.
I just said, I can't. And so that was that story. I went back to my trailer, said, Lord, I guess because this is Malcolm Lee, big time. They don't need me. They probably should say, you can just go right on home then. We'll get you a ticket. So I went back, and this is funny. If I'm being too long, cut me off.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
So when I got back to my trailer, got on my cell phone, I have 2 daughters and 1 son. So I called my daughter out in LA. She lives in Los Angeles. And I called her first and I said, girl, I'm gonna have to pack my clothes. Mama gonna have to leave, welcome home. I ain't welcome no more. And she said, what happened? She said, and I explained the story, what I just told you all. And she said, and you said what? I said, no, girl. I said, I can't do it. I can't do it. And she said, Mom, girl, that's a big, oh, you would have blown up. That she was going through all that. I said, I'm looking at my phone, like, little girl.
Who raised you?
And I said, oh, okay. Well, I don't know how big the line is, but I wasn't going to say it. I said, oh, man. So I said, oh, Lord, I need to call. So I called my other daughter, who lives now in Alabama, but she was here in Atlanta. I called her, I said, girl, Mama's about to get, I think she's gonna get fired off of this job. And she said, what happened, Mama? I told her the same story. I got to what they wanted me to say. You gotta know her to love her. She is real churchy. The devil is a liar. You will not. I said, okay, I just need a little help. Help here. And so that being said, not only did I did not get fired, obviously.
Right.
Actually extended there longer, making coins.
Hello.
It's like God saying, I'm gonna honor. That was a test. I'm gonna honor you. I'm gonna honor you for that.
Yeah.
So that happened. And not only did he honor me that way, they didn't even put the line. They didn't
never made the movie.
It never happened. It wasn't even in there. And number 2, when I signed my agreement contract, I didn't read. I was so excited about getting more. I didn't read the fine print. Those of you who are listening, always read the fine print that you get on set. Now, your agent, if you have an agent, they're going to look at all of the fine print. But I didn't read all the fine print. But it worked on my behalf because when I signed that agreement, in that agreement said that I was going to get residuals or royalties from the sale of the DVD.
Awesome.
It went global, international. And when I got my first check, I had no idea what that was. And I said to my husband when he hands me the mail, when we get here, our mailbox is down, and you drive up to the drive. So he look at it to hand me my mail. And I opened it up. I said, can you look at this and see if it's a sweepstake checks? You know when sweepstake checks?
Right.
But it's not a real check. And I said, can you look at this? And he looked, and he looked. He said, that's a real check.
Wow.
What was it for? I was stunned. He gave it back to me. It was for, they had just released the DVD. And this was the beginning. And when I tell you, who gets a check after, I'm going to tell my business. After taxes, $10,000.
Did you cuss then? Right.
You thought about it.
You thought about it.
What?
That's funny.
I said, Lord, you talk about double honor. This is a double honor on a movie that I was standing my grounds, and I talk about it to this day because people will say to me, what are your feelings about? I said, now, I have cussed in movies. I have used the word hell, the place, some folk go in there. And I've used the word, I don't need to be cussing all on.
Yeah, I understand.
But I have used words, but not to that extent. I didn't. an audition that I got a call back for, and I won't even name, it was a series and it would have probably been a reoccurring one. But what happened is when I did the first audition, the lines that they gave me, because they don't give you the whole script.
Right.
It's different from when they said you got a call back and now you got to come in front of the director and the people because they want to see you now. They want to see you. The casting director saw me and taped me, but we now want to see her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the sides that they sent, the lines that they sent had some stuff up in there. And I called my agent and I said, ugh, I used to use this word, the B word, and that way back, like you said, Deke, when I was growing up and going up and doing all that.
Oh, Crenshaw.
And I said, right. And I said, like, I can't do this. She said, well, let me call. I got to call the casting director and kind of see what they can do because this is a callback. I mean, this is that you close to booking this.
Yeah,
so,
closer. Yeah, absolutely.
So she called me back, and I happened to know this particular cast. Some of the casting agents I don't know, but I know this guy, and he calls me Mama D. He's a wonderful casting director here in Atlanta. And he obviously told her, well, just tell her to come on anyway. Tell her to just kind of do it. And I'll let them know when she gets there. So I got there. And of course, I feel to this day, which was okay, that I probably would have booked that role. But because when I got there, instead of using that word, I called her a heifer instead of using the B word, you know. And I made it strong enough and impactful enough. And since I kind of used some cuss words, the DAMNN, what's damn? A dam holds water, you know.
Yeah.
So, and I said, use a heifer, you know, word, you know. And so I was trying to give them, but they obviously wanted that word, and they wanted it for that particular. And when I saw that series and what it's all about, I said, oh, okay. There's a whole lot of rough up in this thing, and I just, so that being said, double honor, and yes, I have turned down even an audition, you know, because I always say it'll just be my quote luck. I would book this, and then what am I going to tell them when I get on set? Well, it showed in the audition that I was going to open my robe, and I know it really wouldn't be me because you could get a stand-in opening up their robe. It was a movie with anyway, in a minute, open up my robe, and then that was it, you know, open, and then it shot, and then it was supposed to show a little carving on parts of my body, you know, then close it back up, and I'm like, what would I have told them? Well, I booked it, but let me tell you, there's one little thing I'm not gonna do. Oh, you better tell, next, bring in the next person. Who's the backup? Who's the stand-in?
Yeah.
So, you have to draw boundaries, and you win some, you lose some, you know?
Yeah.
That's me. Others may not have issue with that. It may not even bother you. It may not even be that's going that keeps you from serving God. I'm not judging. I'm just saying what works for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Okay, I'll give you.
No, you're fine. It was awesome. That was great. You're saying all those things, and it just reminds me of, because I also dibble and dabble in the arts myself, and I remember being sent on an audition, and this was when I was in DC. And I remember when I went and I got the sides and I saw it, I was like, dang, because I'm a believer. So I was like, ooh, this is not me. I don't. And I remember even before I went in, I sat in the car and I was like, God, please don't let there be no cuss words in the script. Please don't let there be no cuss words in the script. And sure enough, there was cuss words in the script. And so I committed. I committed to the craft. And I think because I had not cussed in quite a while at that point, I felt awkward doing it. And I'm sure it came off as awkward.
Right.
Long story short. Right. With my pinky up, you know what I'm saying? Long story short, about a year later, I saw that movie, obviously with somebody else in the role, and they was going for it. But but yeah, my convictions at that time wouldn't allow me to do it. Now here lately, I'm in a series where some words are called for, and I built myself up in God and Christ, and those convictions are not as strong as they used to be, and I'm more confident in who I am as the actor and as a Christian. So it doesn't, I still got my boundaries, but some things I can feel comfortable doing.
Right. And if you're okay with it, like I say, that's not going to cut off your relationship.
Right.
It just depends on who you are and what you want to represent. I mean, when I used the first time people heard me cuss, which was the word I used, hell, like, and those who did that got trash mouth. I was going to say another word, trash mouth. And when I said, I was saying something to the man who played the husband to my daughter. He cheated on her and he's trying to come back in. I want to know, what are you doing here? I said, what the hell are you doing here? Right. And when I said it like that, that's just like anybody, that's almost like a word. That ain't no big thing. What the hell are you doing here? And the people that saw it, because they screened it, because it was an Up TV, they screened it there, and it was and the staff, they had a whole screening of it, and they were like, and I'm like, I know you just didn't. No, you just didn't grab your pearls right there. Right. Getting shocked when you use every word in the no, it's different from what's different. It's different because it's you, Mama D. You're saying that. Well, and I said, well, tell me, what the hell difference is it?
They did it again. Wow, that's funny. Yeah, you're right. It's the personal conviction that would determine whether or not you would do it anyway.
Right.
Let's back up a little bit. You also was a talk show host, because you used to host a show called Tea with DeEtta.
You done went through my whole life.
I know who you are.
You're stalking me. Have you been stalking?
I do my research.
Yeah, you're really good, and that's good. That's why I asked you, did you need anything from me when I texted you, and you said, nope. I don't need. See why you didn't need it. Anyway, but Tea with DeEtta was a local show that I did in Los Angeles. It was just a real simple
between two ferns kind of thing.
Yeah, right. And, it was just a little talk show, and I would invite guests on, and that one, I can't remember how many shows I did, but somebody had approached me that was working at one of the local TV networks. Okay. And they wanted to produce that show with me, and asked if I could bring it. I said, yeah, I got guests. I can bring in. One of them was my husband. And that's probably, you may have, when you did your research, you probably saw that.
I saw that one, yeah. Yeah, I saw it.
You just do this interview and you talk to yourself.
I think it sounds better coming from you.
No, I love it. It makes it easy.
And you played CC in Saints and Sinners?
What was my name?
I thought it was CC. It wasn't CC.
Was it? See, you know what? That was some.
Because you were the mother of
Yes, you know what? I'm thinking of Greenleaf. I was like,
oh yeah, you think Greenleaf?
yeah,
No,
we
this
missed something out. No,
Greenleaf is OWN, right?
yeah, Greenleaf was yeah.
That's OWN. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But I did an episode there. But yes, it's in Sinners. I was CC. I'm trying to think. I was trying to think, and
I can't think of his name. The actor's name. You was his mother. I believe.
played Robinson, Keith
Robinson. Yeah.
Robinson. I played his mother, and homeboy was my husband. I want to say TC Carter.
T. Carter. Wasn't TC Carter?
TC or TK? There's
TC or TK, D? TC
Carter, my husband. But yeah, that was wonderful. I love Keith Robinson. This is I did another. He played actually in the movie where I cussed, and he was the one that cheated on my daughter.
Really?
It's called Life's Journey. L-Y-F-T. Life's Journey. Which was written by, he's not with the company anymore. He's gone on to bigger things, but he used to be the head of human resources for Up TV, and he's also a wonderful writer. And he wrote the script and submitted it, and they took it. It was a blessing, and he already wrote it with me in mind. So that was one of those things where she's gonna already be the mother to Keith Robinson. So yeah. I played CC in that, did actually 2 episodes, but one of them, the second one that I did was directed by Vanessa Bell Calloway. And it was a good one, a good episode where it showed the softer side, because it was during the time when Keith, his character, was getting a little too tough, but this showed his side and missing his wife, played by Demetria McKinley. Yeah. So
yeah, that's awesome. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you correct me if I'm wrong. You were in an all-girl band. You played in an all-girl band. You had an all-girl band.
Negro, if you have stopped my life.
I do what I gotta do. That was me outside your bushes. Digging the trash cans, right?
You done researched stuff that I'm there about forgot. Oh my Lord, yes, it was an all-girl band. Wow. And that was, wow. Because I remember, I'm trying to think of, I think I was in Los Angeles at the time, because I was doing some things in San Diego. I can't remember if I was, but anyway, and I remember we opened up for Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
That was like amazing. And I can't find to this day where he gave me his Afro pick.
Yeah.
And I probably he probably could have got a lot of money on, but I was like, can I have that after you finish picking your hair out? He gave it to me. I'm sure he had tons of other. He said, little girl, this Afro pick, dandruff, and my Jerry curl grease on it. But yes, I was in an all-girl band. Can't remember the name of it. I was also in a group that was. I quit the group because and I'm not going to even say his name because he's a powerful man to this day, and I'm not going to be one of those ones. But one thing I am going to say about him, he called all women bees. That was like saying your name.
Wow.
It was, and when I joined the group, when they pulled me in, it was 4 girls, and we were primed. We were going to go on the road. We were going to be the opener for the label that we were going to be on.
Okay.
The 4 Tops.
Oh,
and
wow.
so we were going to be on the road and priming us for that. But I never made it that, because I said to one of the girls who was the lead singer, who couldn't sing better than me, here we go back to but because she was doing other stuff, and who was calling everybody bees, she got to be the lead. Well, I'm bound to that. I'm getting ready to visit a book that I said I was going to write a few years ago.
I was gonna say that you need to.
God's way.
Yeah.
I don't have to do that. You take me for my talent. Anyway, back on. So that group, and I quit the group because I told her, and they said, why? I said, he got one more time to call me a B.
Wow.
One more time. And I'm out. Oh, girl, no, you can't. We're about to blow up. You can't do that. You can't leave. We're all young. We're getting ready to do this thing. He don't mean nothing by that. This is just, that's the way no, and he's gotten away with it, and he's not gonna get away with it. All y'all can go and do what you have to do, but I'm not taking it. And I said, one more time to call me that. Well, it did. That's all he called all of us. So, and I quit the group. So moving on.
Understandable.
Girl band, that group, and then moving on to Sweet Salvation. I'm sure you did the research for Salvation, which was the band. Most of them were out of New Orleans. They bad white boys that played like stupid. And then our bass man was out of LA because the two of us, he was the bass man, but we recorded an album, and it's actually called Sweet Salvation. And if you look that up, you'll hear my voice. Some of the people used to talk about later on in life after they said, if you want to hear, I don't sing as good as the Queen of Aretha Franklin, but we did a version of Rocksteady.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you got to pull it up. It's Sweet Salvation, and
I will
check it out.
Now, I ain't gonna hold you too much longer. You are in a new. Is it out yet? Is it a film called Redeemed?
Yes, it's on BET Plus.
Okay.
It's a wonderful, redemptive. I love the faith-based movies. I love all of them, and I'll be in all of them, whatever I need to do. But it's nothing like knowing when you're cast into something that you don't even have to worry about all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And so this was really a great movie. It stars, that's where I was getting the TC Stallings, who is amazing. In fact, they have My Brother's Keeper are the same production team. Man Mackey production, and they're the ones that do a lot of faith-based movies, and they've got this movie, My Brother's Keeper, which Greg Allen Williams, I think I mentioned to you, T.C. Stallings is in that, and also Redeemed has you
have Keisha Knight Pulliam in it.
There you go, Keisha Knight Pulliam in there,
and you're also working with someone that I'm very familiar with, know personally, Cameron Arnett. He was actually in my movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He was in your movie, you said?
In my movie, yeah. My movie is called Not My Own, faith-based movie. It was indie. We shot it here in Atlanta.
Wasn't it promoted, or did he promote? It seemed like I've seen that.
He had promoted it, but we didn't do. It wasn't a big fanfare type of thing. It was my first, shot at shooting a film, and it was a short, but I enjoyed doing it. But I've been knowing him for quite a while, and he played Mr. Henson in my film called Not My Own.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm very familiar with. Well, we used to call him Cammy, but now he's Cameron Arnett. So
right.
He's awesome.
A brilliant actor.
Yeah.
Oh, he is really, really good. For some reason, I want to say he's in Brothers. Maybe he's not in Brothers Keeper. Anyway, you can't keep up when.
I know he's in a couple of the. I forgot the brothers' names that does the films together. They direct together. Shoot, I can't remember their names, but they start with a K, but they do films together. Faith-based films, and he's in a couple of those. But when I saw that he was in this,
they're based here. Are they based here?
I think I'm not sure. I feel like it's Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
I feel like they're in Tennessee. But but Redeemed is out. You said that's on BET Plus now.
Yeah, that's on BET Plus, and then I think I told you The Glorias is on Amazon Prime, and then lot of the other movies that I've done for the network are now on, actually Brown Sugar has a couple of movies, especially during Christmas time. I did those 5 Christmas movies. You probably did on that already, but the Christmas movies. And, I'm just clowning you.
No, you're right.
You know what I'm talking about. And that, unfortunately, I was played Greg Allen's wife in all 5 of those movies, and so it was so cool just to your coach and him be playing your husband too. And that's another little hurdle, not that I had to go over, but people that watch me on camera because of the fact that I kissed him, you know, and I'm like, I don't know why y'all having an issue with, and my husband ain't having an issue. Why are you having an issue that I'm
Yeah, that's
and
great.
this is not like I'm rolling in the sack with him or I wouldn't be doing that, you know, anyway, but
Yeah.
But and I even, because I told my husband when after I got the script for the first 3, there was no, you know, remote, but the last 2, the writer who I love her, Rhonda Baraka, who knows all of her cast, you know, she just writes from who you are, not just on camera, but your personality. And so she said she wanted to make the last 2 movies, the 4th one, she wanted, it was the 4th one, yeah, where there was intimacy with the seasoned couple, because there's 3 of us, Melinda Williams, Victoria Rao, and myself, who plays sister, and Crystal Wilson. Melinda plays my niece, and then Karan Joseph Wright, and then Nadej Bailey, so that's your core cast right there. And so when I knew the kiss was going to be a little more fierce than I told my husband, I said, just heads up. In this movie, and he said, "Oh, okay." Then we started the movie and we shot that scene, and I said, "Oh," to myself. I didn't say this to Greg. I said, "Oh, it's gonna be like that, huh?" All right. So I went back home and I said, "Yeah." So she really kisses me like it's under the mistletoe and all that. And he was like, okay. And I said, he said, why do you keep telling me this? I said, because I remember back in LA when we had first got married and I did a play. And I told you that the guy who played my husband was gonna kiss me. And you said that ain't happening on my watch. And it ain't happening. And I said, what? You figure it out. So I went back and told dude that was playing my husband, I said, my husband said, you can't kiss me. So whatever your plans were, and so he said, okay, I got it. So he ended up kissing me on the forehead.
Yeah.
See, it could go either way. It could have gone a cheek. I knew brother was gonna go for the lips. So I knew I had to tell. The scene was just him consoling me after finding out our daughter got pregnant by a guy who was a stone gangster, drug pusher, and dealing in drugs rather. And so we were just broken, and I just stormed out of the house, and we were at the park together, and it was musical too, so he had to sing to me, and at the end of the song, it was that embrace, you know, and it was supposed to be the kiss, and he just kind of kissed me on the. You better believe every night that play ran, my husband had me, he said, tell them ushers and stuff to reserve, that's the seat I'm gonna sit at all the time. And so it was right up front. So I don't know, did you know what the whole play was about, or were you just waiting for the scene? He was gonna plant it on me. So, but anyway, when I told him that and reminded him about it, and he said, girl, that was then. Now, if I am not secure in this marriage by now, something is really wrong. We've been married for 40 years, so of course, I guess when the second kiss thing came in, gosh, it was about 5 years ago when I brought it up to him 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Now, last question, or a couple of questions before we let you go. One, I actually saw you I think it was a couple of years now at this point, because you mentioned your daughter, and your daughter is a singer. And I don't know your daughter, but I know who your daughter is. And the reason why is because you mentioned maintaining a job. I do the same as well outside of the studio and everything else. I work at a TV station, and she sang on this show called Magnify, and you came out and sang with her. I'm in your world. Danielle.
No, you're in your world. This is your world. I'm just living in it.
What do you call it? Danny Vocals?
You know her handle. You know her. You can do that. I can't wait to tell her. I'm gonna say, little girl. Tell you. And yes, Danny Vocals, and she is living in Alabama. Now she had been commissioned or hired, or God called her via the pastor of Northview Christian Church in Dothan, Alabama. She is the worship leader for that church there.
Awesome.
Actually, when he first met her, she visited the church when she was here in living. And I guess somebody at the church kind of maybe recognized her. I don't know the full story. And they heard her sing. So she was kind of doing praise and worship. When they would come, they had services on Saturdays. Mm-hmm. They still do, but not now with the pandemic. And so she started doing every Saturday here. And then they started kind of bringing her every other Sunday to Alabama.
Okay.
The church in Montgomery. So he has a church in Montgomery, one in Dothan, and one here in Atlanta. He has all three of those. And so then it ended up where she's at the main sanctuary, the main dome, which is in Dothan. And you heard her sing. She had a wonderful voice.
She's awesome. Yeah. Then could you, this is a crazy question. I don't even know why I'm asking, but I'm just throwing it out there. But could you see yourself doing anything else?
So throw the question out.
That's it. Could you see yourself doing anything else other than the acting?
I'm just I don't have the words because you carried this show beautifully. I'm just gosh, I could just say I don't know that I want to do anything other than except to be able at some point in time feel that I could do it full time.
Okay.
And so even though I feel like I am, because I do have the people that are flexible with me, but really doing a job, even though you have people that are flexible, you don't want to take advantage of that. So times when I would not let them know, but times where I have passed up. Now I won't pass up a gig if I book something outside of up TV, because I've been fortunate to have stuff on, like you said, OWN with Greenleaf, on Bounce, on BT, TV One, and did Christmas movies, just things that I've been very fortunate on the big screen and all of that. But to be able to be full-time, I had the opportunity to be full-time. What I'd still like to do, I would really like to be, when I say behind the scenes, because I'm always going to be in front, but I'd like to be part of casting. I'd like, even if I just did it, but I'd love to work with a casting director to sit in a room, or with those who, pick, casting director who pick the ones that they want to submit to the producers to choose from. I'd love to do that. I want to stay, I'd love to be on set sometimes, not just to act and be on camera, but I'd love to just watch the workings, which I know I could do all of that, but I don't have the time to, because I do have a job. And so I'd love to have the flexibility, because I know writers and producers and directors and production places who'd say, you want to what? Girl, anytime we do a movie, there's people that would just kill for that, to be able to just be on set and sit in the room. I forgot what they call the rooms where they have the monitors up and sit in the little director's chair and just watch and see things and catch things and continuity, and to watch to see if they're doing, or that, no, that plate, no, that vase was over there, or no, the glass is half full of wine. Y'all, you're putting it back up there and it's just a taste up in there. You need to, so, put it back the way it was if you're doing the scene. So I'd love to do something like that.
Okay.
And of course, ministry, we didn't talk much about that, but ministry is my number one. I love going out and ministering at conferences and retreats, and opportunity to deposit words of life. And I speak from a place, even though I know the word of God, but I speak from a place of experience, and I don't wear a mask. So what you see is what you get. And I'm going to talk about my experiences, just like when I said to y'all, yeah, I was singing in the nightclub, and I'd have my tomato juice, and which worked for me, and an aspirin in the morning before I hit the church and got into praying before going up there and worshiping, because I worship God in spirit and in truth, and ask for his help daily, like I still do now, So I love ministry, and I love the opportunity to share my life, to share the things that I have gone through in life and I have grown from. And I know that I can tell you that people that I'm comfortable in my own skin, that through many dangerous toils and snares, I've already come, but through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus and to depend upon God's holy word. And that's what has gotten me through, where I touched the hem of his garment, because I had an issue for 12 long years of blood, but I have had some issues where I needed to touch his hem so that I could be made whole, after being physically abused by a man that I lived with for 2 years. And out, and I'm still alive, and God had to heal me and make me whole so he could prepare me for the man that is in, well, there were two of them. I've been married twice, but they were both, the one I'm married to now, man, he was a good man, but that just didn't happen, and I won't go into the personal reasons about it. And the second one that I'm married to now, and have been with him for 41 years. So
shout out to James West.
What you know about him? Okay, tell me his.
Well, I wanted you to shout out West Ministries International.
All righty. So yes. So I gotta look on that website, because I know he kind of monitors and manages. There's some that he manages that, and I gotta see it. I gotta bring some stuff up to date. He's got a lot of stuff because he does a lot, doing too much. But anyway, so God had to make me whole and complete. I know I'm about doing. You're fine. Had to make me whole and take the fragments of my broken life and the damaged goods and prepare me before he could release me to who he had prepared over there to find, And so I talk about that in works. I talk about the abuse. I go into it deeper than what I would have time or what I would to on this call, but talk about it. And some people look at me like, I don't believe she is up there telling this, but I feel their spirits, and God tells me, I'm gonna let you know what they're thinking right now. Now you need to fix that. I know, and I'll say that to them. I know what many of you are thinking, how can I stand here and tell you about that? It's because there's somebody in this room who's getting your behind kicked every day, and you feel that you deserve it. That's what I thought. That it's fault. That's what I used to think. What did I do to make him hit me or knock my teeth out or do whatever? What did I do? And afterwards, they come up and they're like, I just have to tell you, I'm one of the ones. I don't know what these other women are standing in line to talk to you about, but so that just takes my heart, and I say, God, that's why when I accepted the calling on my life, I promised you that I would be transparent and I would bring it straight, no chaser, that they're gonna hear it and they're going to hear it right.
That's right.
You know, and they can cringe and squint, but somebody going to come out of here healed. Somebody is going to live, and they're going to know again, and they can love again, and they're going to know that all men are not the same. Women need to get that off their lips, out of their mouth, that all men are the same. They ain't all the same. That's why you don't have no man now. Okay, I'm sorry. Somebody got
somebody needs you to hear that.
Same with the women. Men say all women, all them bees are the same. No.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're all right. You're all right. Miss DeEtta West, aka Mama D, where can people find you? Where do you live on social media? Your website? What you're gonna be in next? All that good stuff.
Yeah, I think you can probably tell them where they can find you.
I think they want to hear from you, though.
All handles are all my Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Somebody got me joined up on this Clubhouse. I don't even know what house to be in. I'm just on it, you know.
Just on it, yeah.
DeEtta West. It's the DeEtta. I don't know if you'll say that. It's DeEtta West, WEST. All my handles, and you certainly can follow me there. And I usually post about any activity, anything that I'm doing. You can also search out for some of the streaming, you know, like I said, Up Faith and Family is a service for Up TV. I know, again, Amazon Prime, Netflix carrying some of the stuff. Around Christmas time, you can see our stuff on some on Brown Sugar and just some of the streaming. And then just, if you Google me, sometimes you'll find out more stuff about me, like G. Wade has found out. You can just Google me and you'll find out a whole lot about me. I think I love teasing you about that because I'm actually quite flattered and impressed that you do your homework and that anything that I've said, you already know it, but you know how to ask those, because that makes a good interviewer.
Yeah, thank you.
He or she has done their homework. And so there's never going to be any lull time in interview. There won't be radio silence because they don't know what to ask or say. When you got a person's background, you will help that person that may not be a good interviewee. You know, because sometimes you don't find that out until you get them on. You start talking to them.
Been there.
You ask them a question and say, "So tell us a little bit about your life," and they'll say, "I love my life."
Right.
What do you love about your life?
Love about it, right?
Sir, I love Jesus because Jesus loved me. Okay, can you tell us why you agreed to come on my show? Because you ain't said dang thing that is. That's the acting in me that comes out a little bit too much. So
no, we love it. We love it. We love it all. This has been amazing. This has absolutely been amazing. I thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us, to share your world with us. I was telling Deke before the interview, I was like, I can tell through her text that this was going to be fun. I can just tell it was going to be good. Didn't I say I do? Yeah. So this is going to be good. And sure enough, you surpassed good. It was great.
Thank you. I enjoyed it, and you all helped. You couldn't see everything going on in the background, but he was a cheerleader. He would be doing stuff like. Whirling around in it, so I was getting distracted a little bit watching to what I was saying. I was hoping that he wouldn't take his hand and slap you upside the head. But thank you to both of you for having me, and I'm sure I hope I've given you enough, but I think I've given you more than enough for what you're doing, what you need to do.
No, this has been amazing. It's truly been amazing. We certainly thank you. Looking forward to watching the projects. I'm gonna have to go check out Redeemed on BET Plus, I believe you said.
Yes.
And just some of the other things that I didn't know that you were a part of. I'm gonna go back. There was a play too. It started with a P. Robert Guillaume. Pearly. There you go. Yeah, I started watching that a little while ago.
Hey, Dig, I'm doing like you. I'm just gonna put it down. Well, let me be the interviewer. Let me tell me about DeEtta's performance in Pearly. Tell me who played Pearly on Broadway.
What's his name? Don't tell me. I'm looking at. No. Was it Robert Guillaume? Right?
Yes, he did, but he did it after who did? Who was the original?
I'm looking at his face. No, I'm gonna say Sherman Hemsley, but that's not true.
He was in it. Sherman was in it.
Melba Moore was in it.
Yes.
Oh man, what is his name? I'm looking right at the guy's name. I don't know his name.
I'll tell you his name. It was my brother, Cleavon Little.
What? That was Cleavon?
He played the first Pearly.
He was the first Pearly.
He won a Tony for it. And Melba Moore was the love interest. And
right.
Get Low, that was his name, was Sherman. And so my brother played Pearly Victorious. And when I did that play, they brought me in because it was sort of like a tribute. And I played it up in there, promoting it, played it up, the sister of blah, 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 blah. And they used as the logo, the picture on the album of my brother. It was, if you see Pearly but Victorious and you take my brother's name and put it in there, you'll see he was the first one. And then it was Robert Guillaume who did an excellent job of it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I did. I started watching it, but I don't know how that escaped me, but I certainly started watching it. Pearly. That's it. Truly amazing. And we did A Raisin in the Sun too.
Really?
We did that before the pandemic, and it was really powerful, great cast. Nikki Lachey. I mean, these are names that you probably would look up, and Sean Baker played my son, Walter, in The Son, and I played the mother. So it was wonderful. It was directed by Chris, a wonderful woman named Chris Scott, all here in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, once again, I say thank you. We thank you. Looking forward to more projects to come from you. And this was just amazing. I'm good now. I'm good.
Thank you. And again, thank you for having me. I had fun, and I always love to share and to deposit and to help empower, and whatever words you can add on that. I love these interviews. I've been doing a few of them since I've been home, zooming in on me, and I think I give them more. I think I help them to create something. I did an article a couple of weeks ago, and they ended up, it was going to be in a magazine, printed, but they still interviewed me like this, and then they put it in writing. Okay. And they asked me to do a quick video with a little excerpt from the actual article, because I guess they saw how dramatic I am. And said, okay. And if you go on my Facebook page or Instagram, you'll see it. It's Arts Atlanta, and I did a little thing right in this same little room, and you'll see given a little excerpt from the article.
Oh, wait a minute, I did see that. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna start pointing to him too. Yeah. He's back there, he just point. Yeah, I love it. All right. Yeah.
That is awesome. And it's your boy G Wade holding it down, G Wade Podcast, and I'm kicking it alongside with my man Deacon.
The G Wade Podcast.
The G Wade Podcast.
Bringing you the cool interviews,
the hot topics, and all that other crap.
The G Wade Podcast with Deacon Dirty.